One of the things that I believe that most African Americans, and I have to say it this way, that would be interested in or is attracted to is the real estate. Here in this country, we often don't have the opportunity to own our own homes in the U.S. And so to have this opportunity to come to Kenya and be able to purchase land and say that you own that land is very, very dear and near to us as African Americans.
Today you're looking at a groundbreaking movement that is actually happening here right in Kenya, specifically concerning the African Americans who are returning back to the motherland. So over the past few years, Ghana has been at the forefront of where African Americans are returning, and I would even add Tanzania to that list. But over the past year or so, there has been such a big move of the African Americans also coming to Kenya. And in the video that you saw before, you're actually seeing a lady who was being presented with 40 acres of land for just African Americans to come and invest and live. So today, join me as we delve into the cultural dynamics, the formation of a community body of African Americans in Kenya, and the transformation of their dreams into homes and investments here in Kenya. My name is Gideon. Welcome to Acre, where we talk about everything and anything real estate. So in the recent just 1 year, I think just Kenya is like the new Ghana, is where every African American seems like wants to go. So today we're gonna be looking at the reasons why probably they're coming to Kenya. Secondly, we're gonna look at the issues or challenges they are gonna be facing, either culture or whatever they are. And thirdly, we're gonna be looking at what they can actually do to really push the agenda. So let's start off with why they're actually coming. I guess probably there are maybe 2 to 3 to 4 reasons why, from the video that I've seen, they are actually coming to Kenya. Number one is the fact that Kenya is slightly more modern than what most of them are thinking Africa should be. So if you come to places like Nairobi, it's as modern as you can expect for most cities probably around the world. Maybe not around the world like Europe or America, but it's pretty modern, and you have all. So it can be in between where probably they're coming from, maybe New York, California, and what they've been taught on media. So it's in between there. It's modern enough for them to be able to have the modern amenities they're used to. The other reason probably they are really coming to Kenya is because Kenya has very good internet. So for those who are digital nomads, it's easy for them to be able to work while they're in Kenya on their digital jobs or careers. Thirdly, it's the fact that Kenya has a lot. Kenya is a tourist country, so it has so much for someone to see, from the Masai Mara to the Nairobi National Park. Another reason actually that is actually connected to that is that also Kenya is very green, and Kenya has a lot of green spaces, somewhere someone can go to decongest, and that I also think adds to the allure of Kenya and Nairobi, to be specific. Other reasons that the reasons why they're probably coming to Kenya is the number of the African American influencers who are currently in the city. If you go around that, you can. There's one of my favorite actually channels is this guy is called Residential Tourists, which I've actually seen. I'm using some of their videos to show you. And Check-in Effect. I think there was Austin. All these guys coming here and just giving us free publicity. I think is really, really good, because once the African Americans are coming, they're coming with investments, they're coming with dollars. So I think it's really awesome for the country, and they should come back and you know, in any case, we all Africans, we were all Africans at one time. So it's good for them to come back. So let's look now at the challenges. So, one of the biggest challenges I've had from them actually is the fact that Africans don't seem to understand the trauma they have gone through, and Africans sometimes actually seem to see them as foreigners, right? So that is true. It's unless you come here and stay here and understand, Africans are not taught any history about Africans Americans. So we also have our own trauma from colonialism that is still festering. For us, probably it's more of a colonialist mentality, right? Well, for the Americans, it's more of they have that what I don't call the attitude that probably the white person is against them and start. And you can understand from, of course, what you also see from the images coming from America. You obviously see there is quite a bit of discrimination. So when they come here, they expect that Kenyans understand that, and while they don't do, the common Kenyan mwananchi has no idea. What Kenyans know about Black Americans is probably the music, the movies, and everyone assumes that's how they live, right? So there is usually a cultural I don't want a misunderstanding either between the two communities, but once they come here to the normal Kenyan, local Kenyan, you are, as what they usually mean as a foreigner is Africans have this perception that most foreigners have money. And it is true. I mean, most Kenyans haven't, they probably don't have an iPhone and this and that, can't afford. The fact that you guys can afford even to come here obviously shows why Africans will see you as a class, as an economic class above them. So it's not an issue of color from an African perspective. It's an issue of opportunity. That's why you'll hear most Kenyans are on the plane going to the other side, going to look for opportunities. For them, it's about the opportunities. It has nothing to do with the color of their skin. What can they do to integrate more seamlessly? One, I've always argued that if you come to Kenya and Africa, nothing is given for free. If you guys want, if African Americans want to have a say, have policies, to have their agenda really pushed forward, you have to come together as a group and engage the government in such. The government will never understand that you guys are Africans, that you want to repatriate, you are Africans. They don't understand that. You can take even the 45th tribe in Kenya, which are just the Indians, who have actually been here, even though they are residents. They have been here in Kenya for more than 100 years, because they came at the turn of the century, 1900. But just until I think last year or the last year before that is when they were actually considered as the 45th tribe in Kenya. So the issue is not you guys being recognized as African Americans or Africans. It's for you to be able to come up together and form a group that can be able to engage the government in a sense where you can show them that you guys coming here actually is an advantage for the country in terms of investments, in terms of dollars. It has to come from that perception. Even here actually in Kenya, the government is actually, I think most Kenyans will understand when I say, one of the deputy presidents always says the country is a shareholding group or company where what you are given, what you can be able, you're given depending on what you bring to the table. Unfortunately to say, that's the honest truth about African and even most Africans table. You will only be given a seat at the table depending on what you guys can bring. So the best way for you to move forward is to you guys to go and just be able to form a group and engage the government so that you can be able to look at your issues. If you want to land, if you want to be given better policies in terms of integration, in terms of your residency, that has to be the way forward for the African American community. Other issues that probably we can be able to sort out is just cultural issues. I've had maybe Americans sometimes complains in terms of maybe guys don't wear deodorants and stuff, but that's why you're coming back to the motherland. Yeah, there are gonna be issues where you can be able to you understand some you're gonna have to learn, and some you need to have to change. Other is because there's nowhere in this world where you can go and have a perfect harmony with probably the inhabitants. You have to learn, you have to adjust, and apart from that, I actually think Kenya is a really good country. We have really good real estate for guys who want to invest in houses, in property. I think Kenya is the way to go. So if you like this sort of content, if you like me talking about real estate and other issues that affect real estate, be able to click on the subscribe button, like the comment, and see you next time. Bye.